guys, welcome to the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1. I'm Doa, and with me is Monte Cristo as always. And man, we have some awesome matches for you tonight. T6 versus Lunatic-Hai, as you can see on your screen right there. And then LW Blue taking on Reunited. It is going to be a great night of Overwatch, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I'm really looking forward to this first match. It will be Overwatch World Cup participants facing off against each other. Yeah. Zunba back on T6 now. He will be going against Ryu Jae Hong, Eska, and Miro, his teammates from the victorious Overwatch World Cup squad.
So weird.
So it's going to be really good.
It feels so weird because we've actually, I feel like we've seen those guys more in the World Cup than we have this season so far.
Well, we definitely have.
Yeah, so it's going to be weird. Like if Zumba kills Miro or something, like, no, don't do that. He's your friend. He's on your team.
There's no friendly fire in
today.
Overwatch, fortunately.
Not yet. Yes, very fortunately.
That would be awful, Doa. We're really glad that doesn't happen.
Junkrat is just permanently banned at this point. Like, no.
All players get sucked into one Zarya ult. That would be a nightmare.
Instead of two Zarya ults right next to each other.
Yeah.
Or two Mei Blizzards on top of each other.
That's how it exists right now. Yeah. Interesting stuff coming in tonight. Most notably, I mean, these teams' DPSs have been a little bit weird, particularly Lunatic-Hai. The Eska we saw and the Miro we saw and the Ryu Jae Hong we saw at the Overwatch World Cup, if you guys were familiar with that event, watching that, you got to see Arhan, who's a great projectile DPS player. But Lunatic-Hai as a team is in some ways more limited in their style of play because of Taejun recently. They've been running a lot of triple tank, mostly playing Roadhog on Taejun, and they have played almost no Genji, which is pretty polar opposite to what we saw these three guys run with Arhan in Anaheim.
It does make you wonder a little bit if we are going to see more of that Genji from Lunatic-Hai today, because we know that Taejun is capable of playing it. He's played it a lot before in previous tournaments, so maybe after the World Cup, that's time to kind of bring the Genji in a little bit. But, even during the Overwatch World Cup, there were a lot of people saying, this team, this Overwatch World Cup team may actually be the best Korean team
that you could put together.
Yeah, exactly. Might be better than the teams that exist right now in the Korean scene. So now that it's broken up again, it's going to be kind of interesting to see how the pieces sort of affect the teams that they're a part of.
Yeah, I don't know if necessarily having Tyrong as a support player is maybe the best team.
Probably need to change that.
I would say Toby, you bring him in from Lunatic-Hai, and maybe you have a slightly better team. But they brought in Tyrong to be more of a strategist, right? So it did make sense in that context.
You can have an okay Lucio, though.
Yes.
That's fine. That's what Tyrong showed us. You can be okay at Lucio, hit those sound barriers, and you can win the Overwatch World Cup. So here's how our groups are shaking out so far. Of course, we're going to take a look at Group C and Group D today.
And this is a must-win for CONBOX T6. Lunatic-Hai, their one win was over Envious, so they have a shot to just run the table in this group, go 3-0, take that first place over Envy.
Yeah.
But CONBOX, they've got to win here. There could be a situation where we could have a three-way tie for 2-1 so far in this group. Mighty Storm, they are done.
Well, I mean, if Lunatic-Hai wins this one, like you said today, that's going to basically guarantee them 3-0 in the group because their last match is against Mighty Storm, who's not looked very strong yet, so should be an easy win.
But how this sorts out is really interesting because CONBOX, we know, you talked to Tyrong, and he said they've been practicing.
Right. I mean, I spoke to Tyrong, of course, the coach for the Africa Blue and Red teams a little bit earlier today, and he was saying that T6 still kept practicing, even with Zumba at the Overwatch World Cup. These guys kept going. Apparently, they got a lot better, and now with Zumba back in the roster, he felt at least that they were going to put up a good fight against Lunatic-Hai, and he thought maybe even they'd have a chance to win. So this one might actually be a pretty close best of 5.
Yeah, and Lunatic-Hai had 3 members at the Overwatch World Cup, so they definitely were not practicing. So
Can't practice with that.
They might be a little bit rusty. One other factor of both of these teams that's very interesting is that they really like Tracer. Liz, so far, their hit scan DPS player has 75% of T6's game time on Tracer. So, you know what? And if you take a step back and you think about it, it does make sense. Zunba has played nothing but Zarya so far in this tournament, and that means that if you have a truly amazing Zarya player, why not just go for the big bang every time? Why not couple it with Tracer? Because Zunba has been so reliable in getting those big graviton surges off. So, Liz, they're very good at that particular combo.
Well, we know that Zumba is just this god-tier Zarya player. I mean, that match on Eichenwald at the Overwatch World Cup where he jumped up through the little hole in the doorway.
He did it twice.
I know, yeah. He jumps up through there, goes over the top of Team USA. The first time we saw it, puts on the graviton surge, and they crush him even though they had barely no ultimates to use. That was That was amazing. Yeah, then he did it again. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Zunba's Zarya play again. But those other 3 members of Lunatic-Hai that were on the Overwatch World Cup team as well. I mean, Miro, Jaehong, and Eska, those guys are so good too.
Yep.
It's gonna be a really fun day.
But really, Lunatic-Hai comes in with their same problems, right? They can't play Mei and McCree at the same time. Eska pretty much has to play both of those heroes. Taejun just hasn't been top tier, and that means that they're basically Roadhog and Tracer on Taejun and a tiny amount of Genji, tiny. So I would really like to see them play more Genji today. But again, ever since APAC started, they played 7% of their match time across 2 tournaments now on Genji.
Yeah, they're going to need to make a change. And this is kind of how it is for top teams in a newer esport as it grows. I mean, you kind of cap out, and then you reach that point that Lunatic-Hai seems to be at right now, where either you adapt or you start to kind of suffer as everyone else catches up to you. And it sounds like, from what we've heard, T6 might be ready to do that today.
Yeah, I really like, I like Lunatic-Hai because of their tank line and their synergy with their supports. That's the strength of this team, but they lack DPS versatility. But when we talk about tank versatility, I mean, we've seen everything. We've seen Jaehong switch off of Ana, Dean play Ana, Jaehong play a tank. So they've been mixing up the Zarya, Reinhardt, Winston roles pretty thoroughly with this team. So it's very difficult to get a read on which of their supports and which of their tanks are going to be playing which heroes.
That's right, and there is CONBOX T6.
Of course, Gamsu at the end, if you guys are League of Legends fans, he was number 2 skill rating-wise in the world while we were at Overwatch World Cup, but he's been pretty consistently top 20 and has been their primarily Reinhardt and Winston player.
Yeah, that's right. Has made the transition really well, and of course, Oparochi, which is kind of like, it's not quite Papa Roach, it's more like older brother Roach, but it's close enough.
It's hilarious.
It's close enough that he gets meme points for that one, man. He gets some swag with that. So, do they have enough to take on Lunatic-Hai? I'm not so sure, but we'll see. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They certainly have had a lot more practice. But on the other side of the arena is Lunatic-Hai, and these guys, of course, coming into the tournament really hot. Despite a bit of a strange loss at APAC in China, these guys still look good in their first match of the season against Envious. Really good.
Well, I think when you look at Rogue, their DPS with Tivik is far more versatile and far more reliable, and that to me was the big selling point, the big reason why Rogue won. They were mixing up their strategies, and one thing that Lunatic-Hai struggles with as well is switching heroes quickly, adapting to new situations, and I think Rogue did a great job of exploiting that. As we did see Miro on the end on the far left there, the MVP of the Overwatch World Cup, so we get to see, hopefully, some more sick Winston play.
Oh, I'm sure we will, man. I mean, some maps he runs a Reinhardt when he needs to, but he loves to play that Winston whenever possible, and he is arguably the best Winston we've ever seen.
I think he's the best Winston in the world. I'll just go ahead and say it.
A lot of people would say that.
I haven't seen anybody else that convinces me otherwise, Doa.
Yep. Well, our maps for today, let's see what we're starting off with. It will be Lijiang Tower, okay. So Lijiang Tower will be our first map of the day, and then the loser will pick out of the next 3 maps, of course, for set 2, and we'll kind of move on from there.
Will be Hybrid for set 2 and Assault for set 3 as usual. So if you want to win a best of 5, you have to be able to play on all 3 game modes. So we will be heading into pure Escort for set 4.
And I like that. I really like that in this tournament, you kind of have to practice everything.
Yeah. It's Escort for set 4 and Hybrid for set 5. So you get a few chances if you're not 0-3'd to mix it up and play on some different styles of maps.
That's right. So CONBOX T6 taking on Lunatic-Hai. Lunatic-Hai can lock up their spot in the group, or rather it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? Time to get into the map, guy. Lijiang Tower. Let's go. T6 versus Lunatic-Hai.
Get it?
All right, let's go to the garden of Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, looks like CONBOX T6 showing Tracer Genji right now. Byung-Hoon on the Genji. We almost always see Tracer Genji or Tracer Reaper from them. I think one point of criticism that I have for T6 is that they almost never play Mei. And with the power of Mei's Blizzard around these control point maps right now, I think you have to have that option. So that's a pretty big strategic hole that CONBOX has, and I hope that they've fixed it in their time off.
Yeah, oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, on some of these maps, if you're not running Mei, it's really difficult to stop a lot of the pushes. Oh, Liz! Oh, that was a close call. Not a good start for Liz on that Tracer. Nearly died there. Had to pop the recall early as the fight begins, but CONBOX getting aggressive here on Lunatic-Hai right off the bat. Yeah,
this is one of those times, Doa, where they're not playing traditional roles either. Jaehong is on the Zarya, which he does when he's not playing Ana, and Dean on the Ana. So Miro going to be playing the Reinhardt here. They are going to repel at least the first push. Otherwise, DPS, pretty normal, triple tank, and McCree with the Roadhog.
We've seen Eska just be a master carry threat on that McCree before. Myunghoon already has the Dragon Blade, gonna pull it up, get smacked down by the Reinhardt. He had that nano boost too. Oh, nice headshot from Eska onto Liz, and Lunatic-Hai will hold this one. What a start, man. Individual plays for days.
Yeah,
there goes the hell.
Yeah, Dean actually had that nano boost so fast, and as you can see, he's already back up to 50% nearly. Meanwhile, the hell only got 70%, so much better ult economy here for Lunatic-Hai.
Yeah.
And let's watch Zunba about to get the Graviton Surge up, so they're going to have the big bang, and this is really the strength of CONBOX T6, is this particular combo, but nope. Not going to happen that time. Hooked right over the edge by Taejun.
Yeah, Taejun, though, really failed on the wave, though. You got to wave when you drop people off an edge like that with Roadhog. It doesn't take long, man. Just hold down C, move your mouse up to the upper right.
The hell nearly died right there, actually. So the spam pretty strong. 41% already there. And oh my.
Oh,
come on!
Again, that's
Zunba.
twice for Zunba.
Come on, Zunba. You got it.
I don't know how that happens.
That's twice in a row. That is absolutely huge.
I don't know what to call that, man.
They bought so much percentage right there, but CONBOX working their way up to 6 ults right now. We're going to have a pretty epic fight here soon, though. 5 ults to 5.
I mean, Taejun's being kind of tricky hiding behind that wall. Gets slept there, but you can't do that if you're Zunba. You got to be more careful. They're going to go in now. Primal Rage pop. Myunghoon has a nano boost. No Dragon Blade, though. Meanwhile, Eska pops a Deadeye, manages to pick off Myunghoon. Nice flashbang, actually. Sets up the kill onto Gamsu, and Lunatic-Hai is going to hold this one again. They didn't get a chance to use the Big Bang, so CONBOX T6 still has that option, but they are really running out of time here.
Yeah, but Lunatic-Hai committed 5 ults to that fight. CONBOX T6 still has 4 now with Myunghoon getting his up. So this has got to be the push that works. It has to be huge.
Yeah. Gamsu on that Winston still. Could be a threat anyway. There's the Graviton Surge coming in. CONBOX T6 pops the Sound Barrier as well. Myunghoon trying to find something with the Dragon Blade. Gets Eska, gets Dean. That's big. And this may be what T6 is looking for. Looks like they will maybe cap the point. They're doing it in overtime, though. Trying to finish off Jaehong here on that Zarya now. And he's staying alive for a long time, actually.
Yep,
but it looks like they will get it. Okay.
Yeah, they do get it, but they have to invest absolutely everything, Doa.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a very low Genji.
Yeah, nice reflect. So Toby gonna fall right there. Jaehong gonna be coming back up. But Lunatic-Hai, they can play this patiently. They just have to play the ult charge game right now. Wait until they actually pick up the next nano boost.
Yeah.
And then they should be able to push. But Liz already back up with the pulse bomb, and it's gonna be dropped on the bridge. That's a nice kill onto Jaehong.
Jaehong does go down. Liz can get that pulse bomb back pretty quickly. This is one of those points on control maps that is hard to retake if you lose it. It's fairly easy to hold that bridge and that narrow sort of pathway to get back.
It is, but they've got to strike now. CONBOX T6, they don't have the nano boost combo yet.
Yeah,
and Liz just used the pulse bomb, so they should be pushing right now and trying to retake this with the nano boost advantage.
There's a Deadeye trying to block it. Nano boosts are used, tries to turn around, get the one to Genji. Couldn't pop it during that reflect. Here comes the Dragon Blade. He landed the flashbang, but oh wow, they take out Myunghoon. Nice hook by Taejun there to keep everybody safe. Lunatic-Hai moving onto the point now, and it's only the hell left. OVERWATCH, the support's not going to hold that for long, and it looks like Lunatic-Hai should take this back again. Oh, misses the first headshot. Second one lands true, though. And Eska showing why he's so dangerous on this McCree. They got that point just in time. It's overtime yet again. There goes Taejun. Myunghoon really been kind of the only one carrying T6 at this point.
They're going to take the point back. No!
Maybe.
Lucio gets back in.
Just trying to stay alive. Toby trying to make things last here. They haven't killed him yet. Everybody's sitting on there. Overtime still going. Earthshatter went down. Toby gets taken out. There's the sound barrier used. by T6.
He's
Meanwhile,
got
Miro
time
in the back. Yeah, Miro on that Reinhardt this time. Dean taken down. Myunghoon still standing strong. There goes Miro. Looks like they might get it back. They will, and suddenly things looking a little bit iffy here for Lunatic-Hai.
Yeah, that looks so good for Lunatic-Hai at the beginning. CONBOX, they had to use the Nano Boost before Myunghoon got his Dragon Blade up, which meant by the time he got the charge, Nano Boost had already almost fallen off, so they were able to kill him during the Dragon Blade. Then they managed just barely to reverse it right there. They'll be sticking around in the point, but it just wasn't long enough. And this is going to be a big fight here. The Hell nearly has the Nano Boost up, and they're going to get a nice Nano Blade combo down. Dean still working on his own boost, and they're going to work on a zone here.
Yeah.
It's not going to get much, though.
Now Sound Barrier comes in as Lunatic-Hai dives onto the point there. See if they can
Dean
take
gets
it.
picked off early.
And Myunghoon went down, which is really good for Lunatic-Hai actually too. Taejun using that whole hog to try to get everybody lined up. Gamsu does go down. A couple kills coming in for T6, so Taejun gets a hook on the Zunba, gets knocked off though. OVERWATCH with a kill there, and Lunatic-Hai.
Wow.
I think, what a start.
T6. That was a huge play there at the end.
Yeah.
Because they picked off the Ana early, there was no Nano Boost. And even though they lost their own Nano Boost to Genji at the start of that fight, huge play from the Lucio coming in, managing to just eliminate Taejun, get them all off the point. So that's a big first point win there for T6. And Lunatic-Hai, they had a lot of advantages coming into that map, but just couldn't capitalize on them.
I mean, if you can lose that point once, but you can't really lose it twice. It's just too hard to take back, and it's going to be an interesting one to go back and review.
Yeah, we're going to see Lunatic-Hai. Now, Jaehong is going to stick on the Zarya, so they are subverting their normal roles for this map. It's not unusual for Lunatic-Hai to do this, but
yeah,
primarily they do have Jaehong on that on the Ana.
Yeah, you know, I was actually, as we see Miro jump in here to zone out T6, got a little bit more to say about that, but we'll see how this fight goes first. For now, T6 zoned out, but this is kind of the first thing we saw on Garden as well.
Yeah, quick pick there. Looks like a flashbang managed to hit Liz, so
yep.
Eska takes him out of the fight immediately, and now to be getting the first cap here, right as it unlocks.
So I was talking to oh, never mind, Taejun. To stay alive. There's so much action in Overwatch. It's hard to talk about anything else. Taejun has that pulse bomb available now. Drops it. Did he get the stick? He did. There goes Gamsu, rather. Meanwhile, Myunghoon on that Reaper this time around. Taejun really destroying people here on the Tracer. Gets a kill into Liz. And this is exactly what Lunatic-Hai needs to hold this point.
Yep, they're going to push forward right now. Pretty dominant early showing. And they have the Deadeye, which is great on this particular map once you can control this forward point towards their spawn, because if they try and walk in, you've got a huge zone, and it forces them to go around the back. That obviously makes them vulnerable to getting pushed off or just tunneling into a choke point next to the ledge. But here we go, Nano Boost.
Yeah, it's on that Reaper, gets caught up in the Graviton Surge, though. Taejun comes in, tries to get a few. He gets one. Looks like Lunatic-Hai is going to be able to survive that one quite nicely. That is going to be that.
Jaehong hit the clutch Zarya ultimate right there, so he had to drop down into it as the Reaper. Didn't actually get much damage during that Nano Boost, so pretty big waste there, but they hold on to the Death Blossom at the very least, but they won't have that Beyblade combo to work with.
So, as I was going to say a while ago, going forward, according to Tyrong, the Africa coach again, they were saying they want to use Dean as their primary Ana. They want to keep Jaehong on Zarya if they can. Sound Barrier goes down on T6. As they're going to try to get in on the point a little bit. Zunba does have the Graviton Surge. No real setup for that. Goes after Dean in the back lines. And they may have this fight. Looks like they do as Liz picks up a couple. There's another one for Zunba. And CONBOX T6 taking that point back again. Lunatic-Hai kind of running into a similar situation we saw in Garden.
There's Zunba on your screen right now, so helping his team power through. They've got the Big Bang this time. They also have the Death Blossom for another combo if they want it, but Lunatic-Hai working with 4 ults.
Yeah.
So it's going to be another huge fight right here.
So it is interesting to think about because, you know, Jaehong is such an amazing Ana player. That's surprising that they'd want to put anybody else on that hero, but this is the way they want to do it for now anyway. Myunghoon having to back off a little bit, going Wraith form, gets the kill onto Jaehong though. Wow, Eska grabs 2 though, and Lunatic-Hai fighting back. There's another one. Are they going to be able to take the point off of this? They're trying. Looks like they'll get it. Oh, that's a stick.
Wow, that was definitely a
Miro.
stick, and
I don't know if that was
The
necessary.
gorilla goes flying off to the side.
I think you might have wanted to save that one because now they don't have it for the next fight. Killing Miro there doesn't really make a big difference.
I mean, they
Although
did.
maybe it did.
They did split spawn them just a little bit right there.
A little bit, yeah. Myunghoon had the nano boost. Came in, a little bit of a disjointed fight there, but CONBOX T6 able to just kind of bulldoze their way back to the point. Now Miro's got it on that Winston, trying to push T6 back again. They use the sound barrier as well. Graviton Surge comes in, and Lunatic-Hai takes back this point. Myunghoon and OVERWATCH, the only ones left there for the moment. They will go down quickly. So, wow, this has been a very back and forth Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, that was actually a great fight. So the setup on the nano boosted Winston, they brought everybody together with the Zarya ultimate. So the Tesla gun was doing a huge amount of damage.
Yeah.
Picks up the kills, and then they zone them out for the final cap. So we are going 1-1 now. It is a best of 3 in this overall best of 5 maps.
Yeah.
So we are going to go down to the final point here on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and you go back a little bit. It was a small thing, but that pulse bomb used by Liz on the Miro, maybe if they had saved that for the major assault onto the point, they could have gotten something a little bit more going there. But either way, it's a very, very close round so far.
Yeah, it is.
And
an exciting match.
Yeah, and honestly, Lunatic-Hai looking like they're struggling just a little bit in the coordination department.
Well, I would really like to see some Mei, Doa, but the problem is that Liz plays almost exclusively Tracer, and even Myunghoon doesn't play very much Mei, so that means that Eska can just play McCree and deal with Liz in the backline with the flashbang every time. So
yeah,
they're not really forcing Lunatic-Hai to do anything uncomfortable, and I think Lunatic-Hai getting a little bit of an advantage in that matchup.
Yeah. Well, especially because Eska is the McCree and Mei player, so in a situation where they need both, they're in trouble, but in this case, they can't just use that McCree. So.
It's a good matchup for them, for sure.
Yeah. Certainly is so far. Taejun on the Tracer now. Trying to push back. Junba a little bit. There goes Sunba. Taejun with a kill there. Now the Helm a little bit of trouble.
Ooh, great tracking.
Yeah, heals himself with the Bida grenade. Drops a pulse bomb. Did he get the stick? No, not quite.
He almost killed himself right there, too. That was a little bit awkward.
It's close. There we go. There's the kill. So Lunatic-Hai off of a couple kills. 3 kills actually from Jaehong are going to be able to get the point first and get that percent going. And I mean, that's how it's been every single point. Lunatic-Hai has always won the early fights, but they've kind of struggled when the end of the round has been getting a little bit closer. This one's a much easier one to hold, though. You can kind of just sit in this choke, and as long as you don't push too far forward, you are usually in pretty good shape. Jaehong now with the Graviton Surge, so Lunatic-Hai looking pretty good.
Yeah, and ult economy is absolutely huge on this map because you do have this one choke once you gain advantage of the point.
All right, will he use it? Yeah, Graviton Surge used after the sleep dart wears off. Sound Barrier trying to keep T6 up. A couple kills coming in though for Lunatic-Hai. Meanwhile, Miro has the nano boost, gonna pop the Primal Rage because he was down to like 1 health. Backs away now, doesn't get to knock Zunba off though.
Trying to find that angle, can't quite get it.
Oh no!
Nope,
he's okay. All right, got back.
Don't worry, Doa.
Yeah. Well, I get worried. I get worried sometimes, but then I realize I'm looking at Miro. He just does not die on that Winston, and just using the shield to just block the choke.
Yeah, but this is CONBOX T6's chance. They've got to make this work. They have all of their primary ultimates available right now, and here we go, Nano Blade.
Yeah, Nano Boost with the Dragon Blade. Myunghoon looking for a couple kills, not getting any so far. I spoke too soon. There goes Dean. Gamsu gets one in the background too. Myunghoon getting very, very low though, down to just 16 health, trying to stay alive, but he can't do it. Zunba, meanwhile, on the point with that Zarya. He has the Graviton Surge if he wants to use it. Trying to take out Tracer, takes down Taejun eventually here, and Toby, the last one left for Lunatic-Hai. And just like we saw before, around 80%. For some reason, Lunatic-Hai has a hard time defending when T6 gets all their ults.
Well, I mean, they had an ult advantage, so I think it's kind of understandable that they have this difficulty defending. And what I like about T6 is that they kept the Zarya and the Tracer ults right there. Even though they lost a couple, even though Myunghoon died, they realized that they were at a man advantage, so they could continue just to grind it out onto the point, and they would have some tools left over.
Oh boy, it's Deadeye into the Graviton Surge, but Zunba just walks up and fills him with plasma. How do you like your Cowboys? Filled with plasma. That's how Zunba likes him.
Plasma Cowboy is almost as good as my Electric Cowboy band name.
Maybe like once you the band breaks up and there's like a solo effort, you do Plasma Cowboy.
There you go. Well, that was a great combo. They managed to nail it that time. Liz and Zunba again working well together. So they hold, and they're might hold again. There we go, another Nano Blade coming through in just a second.
Nano Boost on Namira, though, gets hit with the sleep dart, and he is going to take a nap as Myunghoon comes in from behind, pulls out the Dragon Blade, going after Jaehong, gets that kill. Looking for the Lucio now. Toby getting very, very low. One more left click will do it. He gets the health pack, stays alive. The Hell gets the kill on Namiro, but Lunatic-Hai can't quite push through to the point.
Yep, so they're going to have to regroup on the outside. CONBOX T6 has done a great job of conserving their ultimates here on this push after taking it, and now we're going to end up in a very close last map, but Liz gets a crucial kill onto Jaehong.
Yeah, that is big. Eska backing away now on that McCree, firing a Gamsu, nearly took him out, and now Lunatic-Hai, this might be their chance here. Going in, Graviton Surge, Yuzo doesn't really get anybody. Zunba looking for some victims, gets hit with the sleep dart. They can't take him out though, gets the shield off just in time. Miro being careful, jumping around the middle of the point. Eska's got the Deadeye ready. He's got to be careful. He remembers dying to Zumba earlier. Myunghoon behind Zarya, takes out Jaehong, gets out of the Graviton Surge. Eska waiting for it. Oh, Zumba with the right click from long distance, I think took him out right before the Deadeye went down. And T6 will take Lijiang Tower. Insane.
I love T6's patience, Doa.
Yeah.
They are so patient. You can tell their communication is very on point. Again, it was the crucial hold. They only committed Nano Boost on that retake at 80% with the Dragon Blade. They got the kills they need to, but they held on to the Zarya ult and the Tracer ultimate. That meant that the next fight, they got the good combo off, and then they were able just to roll through with the rest of their ultimates from there. And we never saw Lunatic-Hai really have that same ult advantage from that point forward. So they stayed cool under pressure, T6.
Yeah.
And they grind out the win.
Man, and Eska was about to get like 4 kills from that Deadeye too. That was two very, very clutch huge kills from Zunba on him during that round.
Agreed. He found the McCree. He managed to take him out. That is hard at that range to be able to hit that right click so precisely.
Yeah.
And he does it. So Zunba really holding it in there.
Yeah, that was so clutch.
Great map, Doe. I think we've got a really fun best of 5 in front of us.
I think you're right. Let's see where we're going to next. It will be Numbani. All right, so Lunatic-Hai picking Numbani for their second map. We'll try to do a little bit better on that one. That was close.
Very close indeed.
Yeah.
See how they hold up on Escort, though.
I mean, it's tough for some of the teams this week. You know, we saw Energy struggle a little bit. We saw, we're seeing Lunatic-Hai struggle a little bit now today. I mean, coming back from BlizzCon, not having been able to practice with some of your teammates for a while, it's a little bit tricky, but we'll see if they can pull it together a little bit more. Here on our second map of the day, CONBOX T6 with a win on Lijiang Tower. It is a best of 5 though, so Lunatic-Hai with plenty of time to come back. Let's see if they can put together a bit better of a performance here on our hybrid map. Let's get in the game and find out.
Get it.
All right, here we go. CONBOX T6 versus Lunatic-Hai. And our second map of the day. Looks like Lunatic-Hai will be starting out on offense this time around. Myunghoon playing the Mei for CONBOX T6.
Yeah, this is a rarity. Almost exclusively he plays Reaper and Genji. We've seen a little bit of Mei, but not much. But I'm glad we're seeing it because this is the question that I had for him.
Yeah.
At the start of this match is, how is their Mei play now? Because Mei is crucial in the current meta. And Liz also going to be moving from the Tracer to the McCree. She has played a little bit, but again, these are heroes that they have used in the minority in their matches so far. So it's a bit of a question mark, and we'll see how well they do with them.
I mean, as far as practice points go, though, this is absolutely one of the ones that you'd expect them to do, and that is a dirty, dirty spot for Mei to hang out.
Yep, that's basically just going to be a guaranteed split if they come in onto the high ground. And
wow.
Lunatic-Hai, they're running a Reinhardt, so odds are they're going to walk through there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's the most common approach you see a lot of teams take. Taejun looking like he's going to go through.
They're going up, so Taejun going to be crouching and sneaking. Miro going to look for a flank right now, but the Reinhardt does go through that door, and he's going to be isolated against Zunba.
Yeah, Jaehong comes in. He's on that Ana, and he's in big trouble. Caught already, and just like you said, man, there is the split, and there's the early kill on Jaehong.
Well, I'm not sure why Ana was the one walking through that doorway first. That's a positional error.
It's a bit odd, isn't it?
Yeah, Jae-Hong picked off for free, basically. And that means that they're going to have to take a little bit of a slower approach. Looks like they're going to be going in the front street entrance now and not trying to play for that high ground any longer.
Okay, and we might see Miro go on that flank from the extreme
rare.
left side. We do see that a lot.
This is people usually don't walk through there. It's a dangerous choke point, but they're going to get through this time. They're
Oh, I
pinned
don't
up
know.
against the wall, though.
I don't think they got through all the way, though. Yeah, they are kind of trapped in an awkward spot right now. As CONBOX T6 kind of has Lunatic-Hai cornered, they're going to have to back away.
Well, they got onto the high ground eventually. Nobody died from
Okay.
the May ice wall. Now they control the high ground with Escas McCree, so they're in a better position now.
Yeah. Liz on that tree, firing away at that shield. Dean backing away as Gamsu jumps up for a little bit of damage with the lightning gun. Meanwhile,
get
it looks
May.
like Lunatic-Hai coming in. Yeah, Myung-Hoon did go down.
Huge play. They died with the Blizzard up, so this is their chance to push, and they've got the nano boost, but it's going to be countered by the Zarya ult.
Oh, Dean just charges out of it, though. That's going to leave him on his own. Eska goes down. Meanwhile, Zunba gets the nano boost on the T6 side, and he's going to get slept by Jae-Hong as he chases, though. A little bit of an awkward fight altogether, but Lunatic-Hai not really getting a whole lot of time on that point. They did get the first tick, though, which is something at least. Aha! I found Ana. Oh, but Miro's right there, so time to back away.
Yeah, Dean the last one to die, so Lunatic-Hai is struggling right now, and especially Eska, who hasn't had a good Deadeye tonight. Credit to T6 that they've been shutting down his Deadeye during channel each and every time. They're paying attention, and that's made a big, big difference.
All right, well, they've got the Earth Shatter, and they've got the Primal Rage, a couple else to work with. They're going to come in from the side now. Mira gets that sound barrier as well. Jae-Hong goes down as Liz gets one with the Deadeye. They drop the Blizzard as well, and Lunatic-Hai having a really hard time dealing with this defense put on by CONBOX T6.
Absolutely, they're getting pushed back once again. Lunatic-Hai going to come up with a couple of ults ready, but they're still waiting on that nano boost, but at least they got the Blizzard out. That's the huge one that they needed for their next push. You just have to bait that one out and then try and re-push almost every time.
You know, I think CONBOX T6 as well has been doing a very good job of putting pressure onto Jae-Hong on this Ana. They know, especially on Nimbani, for some reason, this is just Jae-Hong's Ana map, and they've been shutting him down pretty consistently here in all the pushes.
Yeah, they're waiting for this wall to come out. Taejun going to get through, and so will the Reinhardt.
Yeah, Miro comes up on the top, though, forces that early ice block from the Ana of Myung-Hoon having to do that to stay alive. Taejun drops a pulse bomb, doesn't get anybody with it, though. Doesn't look like he even softened anyone up too much. Gonna drop down, though, and go in onto Myung-Hoon. Myung-Hoon should have that ice block cooldown up pretty soon. Liz does get taken out by Miro, though. Without that McCree, things might get a little bit awkward for T6 now. Dean on the high ground. He's got the nano boost. He's going to go in, and we'll see if CONBOX T6 falls here. There's the Graviton Surge again to handle the nano boosting Reinhardt. Myung-Hoon gets two as well. Dean, though, getting into that little room, but he's kind of on his own. He's going to go down, and T6 is going to hold him with just 20 seconds left.
They're going to full hold, Doa.
It's going to be a full hold, yeah.
They've got Sound Barrier, Blizzard, and a nano boost. They would have to immensely screw up for this push to succeed here from Lunatic-Hai. So it does look like we're heading for the full hold. Maybe if Toby can get that ultimate out in time, they can actually survive, but it's going to be rough. This is going to have to be an absolutely massive Deadeye from Eska.
Miro comes in from behind, just trying to get that flank going. We'll see if it matters. They have the sound barrier, so they're durable. Eska looking for that Deadeye, maybe getting one home. Myung-Hoon just getting out of range just in time. Lunatic-Hai coming up on the point, though. Unloads into Gamsu as Gamsu has to back away, getting very low, taken out, and maybe, just maybe, Lunatic-Hai can put something together here. Eska going in, gets caught up in the Graviton Surge, though, and CONBOX T6 looks like they're going to hold. Toby goes down. Liz gets a kill, though, on that Tracer, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No, that's it. CONBOX T6, full hold on Nimbani. And remember, that was Lunatic-Hai's choice, so that's big.
Absolutely huge. And I think T6, that the last defense was a little sloppier than it could have been. I think the Blizzard was placed too far in front and a little bit too early. But they do manage to make it work. And you see Lunatic-Hai struggling on this return. But again, they have not had any time to practice. However, you can really see how the lack of a Mei player is hurting them. Had they been able to counter Blizzard right there, I think things would have gone a lot differently. The Tracer from Taejun was largely ineffective.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, for me, one of the big part of that offensive round for Lunatic-Hai was that both times the nano boost was used onto Dean on that Reinhardt, immediately CONBOX T6, Zunba had the Graviton Surge ready to just contain him. And that shut down basically the entire push for Lunatic-Hai.
Especially if you pick off Eska first. I mean, the thing about Lunatic-Hai is if you focus Eska down and then you crowd control their tank line, they don't really have any other threats, right?
Yeah.
There's not, like, even if you give Taejun the world, he's not going to go off by himself 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on the Roadhog here again. It was more effective than his Tracer, at least in round number 1. So they will be looking for those hooks, and they're just going to play triple tank like usual with Eska on the McCree. Liz is going to be moving back to the Tracer, so at least Eska will be able to use those flashbangs to shut down the backline threat from either the Tracer or the Genji. And I don't think we're going to see the Zenyatta, but
that'd be cool. You know, I do think Zenyatta is good on attack on this map. I've said that plenty of times in the past, but I maintain that the narrow corridors and things are quite good if you want to go for more of a frontal assault.
Looks like he's going to stick with it, Doa.
I feel like he's probably going to switch to Lucio at the end. I'd be pretty surprised if he stuck with it. He's going to stick with it. Okay. That's cool. I mean, they can use that Orb of Harmony, of course, on Myungun. This is exciting. They're not going to have the sound barrier.
I mean,
they will have the Transcendence, and they will have a lot of extra long-range poke. And if you can get a pick on a McCree or something like this, Zenyatta can really pay dividends.
The problem is they don't have a McCree of their own. So I don't like the Orb of Discord. They don't have a Reaper or a McCree, which are.
Uh-oh, Gamsu gets slept. He's nearly going to get a kill there. Liz on the Tracer, of course, trying to defend. J-Home getting a little bit low. Needs to be careful. Has to deal with that Tracer somehow. Liz backs away. He's kind of on his own now, so this attack at least gets stuffed by Lunatic-Hai. There's the kill.
I mean, Eska's got 4 kills in that push right there. He absolutely ripped them apart. But when you have the Zenyatta, yeah, now he's going to switch. It makes sense if you're going to be dealing long-range damage with the Orb of Discord, with the McCree or something like that, or short-range damage with a Reaper onto a target like the Roadhog. But barring that, like, there really wasn't a point to having that Zenyatta, I don't think.
He is a fairly good answer to triple tank as well.
But if you have a McCree or a Reaper, like not with the Tracer or with the Genji.
It does make it a little bit more confusing, yeah. Eska on his own lands a flashbang, but he needs a little bit more than that. There's a Primal Rage now as Gamsu comes charging in. Although he's not doing a ton of damage here. Gamsu not being very effective. Bye. That was a bit awkward. All right, well, in the meantime,
he's so angry.
Killed everybody else. He's like, all right, I'm done.
So angry.
To the wilderness.
He's escaping into the African plains, Doa. He's a gorilla. His home is the African mountains of the Congo. So
right, but we're on the plains though. This looks more like the Serengeti.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go.
He does. He's gonna leap his way home every 3 seconds or so.
He's got a long way to go from Kenya to all the way into Rwanda or
the Congo
or the Congo.
Like yeah. Well, you got to start sometime. Miro comes in with the Primal Rage. Eska popping that dead eye. Oh, ouch! Myungun shot point blank. That was pretty brutal. And Liz, the lone cowboy. And that is not what you want to be when the entire enemy team's right outside.
Where's the Mei? Bring back the Mei, T6. You can control that point a lot easier.
Yeah, that is a little bit odd. I mean, Myungun had that Mei last time around. He's back on the Genji again.
It is a little bit awkward to play Mei on attack here because basically if you're going to be on the point, the wall isn't the greatest because you don't have too many uses for it.
Oh, you can make a... Oh, boy, Zumba nearly goes down, turns around, takes out Jaehong. Meanwhile, the Nano Boost comes down onto Gamsu as T6 tries to push in. Liz gets a kill on that McCree. Gamsu needs to be dealt with. Taejun has a lot of health, but not much of it remaining. And he's going to go after him. There's the kill, and CONBOX T6, they might be able to take this right now. Flashbang is going to delay Gamsu for just a moment. Eska forced off the point. The time building up. Miro, though, gets the kill on the Hell. And somehow, some way, Lunatic-Hai barely holds that.
Yeah, Miro actually the hero in the cleanup right there, forcing everybody back. He is going to fall at the end, though, so it's going to be a 6v5 on this next push.
Yeah. Could get to health back in time. Eska just popping the dead eye.
Yeah, he's buying time.
A bit more time.
Yeah, he's getting time for Miro.
Yep, that's right. 30 seconds left for CONBOX T6 to make something happen. Otherwise, we've got ourselves a tie situation here.
Yeah, they're on the low ground, though. This might be a little bit tricky. Dean going to fall.
A little bit. Coming in, Taejun going ahead and uses a whole hog right away just to scatter everybody. The Hell gets grabbed. He has the sound barrier, though. Stays alive. There's the sleep dart as well. Eska firing from the high ground. Safe for the moment. Miro, meanwhile, has that Primal Rage. Taejun was eliminated early on. Zumba taken down. Great flashbang from Eska to set up those headshots. He's got the Deadeye again, and with that sound barrier, he feels comfortable to just jump down and try to take people out.
Younghoon has switched over to the Reaper, but I wish they would have done this against Triple Tank earlier, Doa.
Yeah.
I think this was the missing piece in their team composition, and it's going to cost them. It's going to be a draw.
Wow. All right. We've got a draw. We have not had one of these for a while.
We have not, Doa. We have not. So, exciting times. We will move into sudden death.
I guess so.
That was Eska was really the hero of that map, but there was no pressure on Eska for a lot of that time. On Lijiang, we did see T6 much more confident in dealing with Eska in the back lines, taking out the Cowboy early.
Yep.
But this time around, they got, at least on their defense, they were able to shut down the Deadeye. This time, though, a lot more room for Eska to use that ult. And that ultimate, when Eska uses it, is so huge. He's great at timing it to zone. And we saw that just getting time for Miro, even though he's picked off, to just hold on to that point for a little bit.
Yeah. I think I definitely call Eska the hero of that particular one. We saw just how accurate he is with landing those headshots right after the flashbang. I mean, that's obviously a combo every McCree should be able to do, but he does it every single time. If you get hit with that flashbang, you're probably just going to die.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's getting into sudden death right now. So
Is this our first draw of Apex? I believe it is, yeah.
It is our first draw.
All right.
So we'll see which map they're going to be going to for sudden death here.
Yeah, we had one draw during the Overwatch World Cup. They are not too common. And it sounds like we're ready to get in the game. So let's resolve the second map here. A draw Nimbani leads us
to the mystery.
Into this, the mystery map. We have no idea where we're going. We know it's going to be exciting, guys. Let's see who takes this little, oh, it's going to be Nepal. All right, we can see it on the monitors. All right, guys, let's go to Nepal and resolve this. And I believe we just have this one control round.
That should be one map.
That's
or
right.
One point.
One round, yeah. One point, one round. And so whoever takes the Sanctum here will be the winner of our second map.
Of Nimbani, weirdly enough.
All right.
I do prefer that to the format, though, where you replay Nimbani, because that can get super long and
Certainly
crazy.
Here we go. Looking at the setups for each team. Lunatic-Hai going with a pretty typical
Nice monitor
triple
accuracy.
tank. That's doing 144 hertz, man. Triple tank plus McCree. And looks like we're going to see the Reaper coming out from Younghoon. He has played a good amount of Reaper in the past.
T6 actually showing Reaper McCree again. This has not been common from T6 so far. Almost always Tracer Reaper, Tracer Genji. They are mixing it up. More McCree from Liz tonight than we've seen pretty much at all in their first two matches.
Yep. And the fight on the high ground, as we oftentimes see, looks like Lunatic-Hai is pushing back T6 for the moment. Every single control map point we've seen so far has been Lunatic-Hai taking the point early on, T6 so biding their time, building up those ults, taking the point back, and then holding it very well. But T6 moving on to the point early on here, and they're going to be the first ones to get it. Oh, maybe not. Here comes Lunatic-Hai. Going to try last second. Liz on the outside of the fight has that Deadeye, and that's going to force Lunatic-Hai back.
Nice.
Oh, takes out Eska, McCree to McCree. And it looks like
they're not on the
CONBOX
point,
T6.
though.
I was going to say, yeah, they didn't move up on it.
Taejun gets the hook. Man, that was such a fast build-up of the Deadeye, Doa.
Yeah.
Eska was only at 50%, and we had already seen Liz land enough shots to get it up. And that's a hook, but
oh, nice shield.
clutch Zarya shield. Good patience there from Taejun. Didn't want to give Zunba a lot of charge. That's a guy you never really want to give a lot of charge, but ults are in a good place right now. Lunatic-Hai had Jaehong's Ana ult up early, and they've already switched back roles, Doa. Notice they've adapted throughout this. Dean is going to be on the Zarya right now.
Yeah. All right, Graviton Surge comes in. Zumba trying to put something together. Meanwhile, Gamsu kind of on his own here on the side. Tries to go after Taejun. Gets the pin, gets the kill. Gamsu a little bit low, though. Oh, we can't quite get the swing onto Toby. Bloodthirsty support kill there. Meanwhile, Dean coming around fully charged with that Zarya as he chases down his opposing Zarya.
That was actually a waste of an Earth Shatter there by Gamsu. He was dead to rights. And so by putting that down, yes, he got the kill onto Taejun, but ultimately unable to put down any pressure, traded 1-for-1, and he lost his ult.
Yeah. All right, Lunatic-Hai just holding that entranceway for the moment anyway.
Yeah, this is really bad for T6 right now. Liz going to have to use that to zone out. Is he going to get anybody? Gets one, Dean.
It gets Dean. That's one tank out of the way, so that is nice.
But
Meanwhile,
Eska gets him.
Eska having to back away, taken down though. Toby with a bloodthirsty support kill there. Meanwhile, Toby decides to take a nap after that kill.
Yeah, OVERWATCH on the point
darts
that whole time also. So they were not defending the point. They got stuck onto the high ground opposite and lost a couple of kills. So now Lunatic-Hai, they don't have the best ults to work with right now, and they've got to deal with this Death Blossom.
On board with Taejun now, as it looks like Lunatic-Hai may just be gifted the point right back again. There's a grab. Gotta wave, man. You gotta wave to him when you're gonna drop him off like that. I will never get unupset at that. GG Grammar. Zunba gets the nano boost, gets a kill, and Lunatic-Hai will hold the point for now. And this is big, man. CONBOX T6. I don't know if they have time to take this one back. It's looking really unlikely.
They have Beyblade.
Ults.
They have Beyblade. They have to make it huge. Sound barrier into Beyblade. They've got to attack now. Let's go.
Here we go. Nano boost on Myungun as he dives in with that sound barrier, looking for anyone to kill, but he doesn't find anyone. Lunatic-Hai just backing away. Now he pops that Death Blossom, but doesn't get anything out of it. Finally gets a kill into Dean, or Amira rather, gets Taejun too. So at the very end, pick up some kills, and CONBOX T6 charging into the point right now. Toby on his own. He gets one. He'll stay alive. Eska firing from the side. He's got the Death Blossom, takes out the Hell, and there's some heroics from Eska. Deadeye at the end, just a zone, and CONBOX T6 will not be able to take it back. Lunatic-Hai wins Nimbani on Nepal. Well, why not?
That's right. From Africa to Asia, a victory for Lunatic-Hai, but Eska again showing up huge there. Wow, that was an insane end to that match. Toby just staying alive for long enough, but crucially, Doa, think about what Lunatic-Hai did at the end. They knew the Beyblade was available. They knew that they were going to have to deal with that Death Blossom and the Nano Boost. So instead of defending at the normal point right at the choke there, they spread out to either side. There was nobody for Myungun's Reaper to find.
Yeah.
So he had to just run through. The Nano Boost was over by the time he actually popped the Death Blossom. And at that point, it was too late. They didn't do enough damage. So we do see the hold coming in eventually.
Yeah, that was really it. They were ready for the combo. And I got to say, the coordination on Nimbani has been looking a little bit better. Looked good on Nepal. So I think we're in for a very, very close match. This one could go the distance. But before that, going to have to take a bit of a break. And when we return, all tied up, T6 versus Lunatic-Hai. We'll see who takes the lead and the momentum when we get into our third map right after this. Don't go anywhere, guys. The Overwatch Apex Season 1 will be right back. Just a few.
이거면 막을 수 있어. 솜브라가 누구냐고? 기록상 그녀는 없어. 존재하지 않아. 아무도 이 아이를 기억 못해. 그 전쟁 후엔 이런 애가 수두룩했거든. 하지만 이렇게 해킹을 잘한 나이는 없었지. 그리고 이 아이는 사람을 조종하는 것도 별일 아니라는 걸 알았어. 세상이 어떻게 돌아가는지 알고 나니 정보가 곧 힘이었지. 그래서 계속 해킹을 했어. 정치인하며 회사하며 정부하며 꼭 중독이라도 된 듯이. 그러다가 처음으로 누군가에게 발각됐어. 하드웨어를 못 쓰게 되면 업그레이드를 해야 하지. 아이는 사라지고 솜브라가 태어났어. 이제 난 준비됐어. 세상을 조종하는 게 누군지 알아낼 거야. 그들의 약점을 찾아 이용하겠어. 그때는 모두가 내 뜻대로 움직이겠지. 솜브라가 누구냐고? 너흰 영영 모를 거야. 아디오스.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
Hey, welcome back to the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 with Doa and Monte Cristo. And man, we've got an awesome match going right now. T6 taking on Lunatic-Hai, and we are all tied up. Lunatic-Hai actually winning in the tiebreaker Nepal point after the draw on Nimbani.
This is about as close as it gets, Doa. 2-1
literally.
on Lijiang Tower to D6 in our first map, and then 1-1 on Nimbani into 1-0 on Nepal for Lunatic-Hai. So, got a hell of a match on our hands so far, and it has been very exciting.
Well, Lunatic-Hai has had a rough start, but it seems like towards the end of that one, especially on Nepal, then they were starting to kind of fall into their old groove again. And if they can keep that momentum going, I think they can still take the match. That said, CONBOX T6 playing tonight better than I think we've ever seen them play before.
Yeah, and Eska is really the man here, I have to say. So there are two factors, Eska coming online in Nimbani and Nepal. And secondly, Doa, is I like the fact that they swapped Dean back into the tank role and Jae-Hong back onto the Ana. As you've said, maybe in the long term they'd like to make this swap, but this is a team that hasn't been practicing together because of the Overwatch World Cup for the past couple of weeks. And I think trying to enforce a permanent role swap right now when we know factually that Jae-Hong has just been playing Ana for the last couple of weeks is a little bit awkward. So they've kind of gone back to their standard roles, at least for the moment, and that has seen them have a little bit more success.
Yeah. Oh, I think you're right. It always did surprise me that they were trying to kind of force that change through, and it must be something, with who they want to play the Zarya, who they want to be the Reinhardt and all that, but having Jae-Hong on the Ana just seems like a no-brainer, especially after that Overwatch World Cup performance. We'll see if that carries on to Volskaya Industries as we get into our third map of the match. Let's see who takes the lead. Time to get in the game. Music Blade could fight vampires too. That's what I think whenever I hear that.
There's not enough showers of blood, Doa.
That's right. Oh no! Everybody died. Well, looks like it's going to be a bit of a reset.
Zunba's the only tryhard.
All by myself. Oh, well. So setting up with I think the team they really do intend to actually play defense with, CONBOX T6 in the blue, Lunatic-Hai going to be attacking in the red, and it'd be interesting to see Jaehong on that farm, but I don't think that's what we're actually going to see in the end.
No,
probably not.
I don't think so either. But T6 back to the Tracer and Genji. They'll be playing the way they started on King of the Hill in Lijiang Tower.
Yep.
And see Lunatic. Wow, Taechun back on the Genji.
I was about to say, yeah.
Again, this is a hero that he used to be known for, but basically since APAC started, not APAC, not this tournament, the one in China, he has played very little Genji. So this is a return, and they're not going to be expecting this most likely.
Well, the crowd cheers when they see it too, man. I feel like this has been his best champion. They're trying to unleash it now as Lunatic-Hai tries to take the right side. We'll see if it works out. Looks like they get good positioning. They are steamrolling T6 right now. He's got to be careful here. Now he doesn't. The hell is dead.
Doesn't have to be too careful with the Ana, but right there, T6 was all lined up in the room to the right side of the archway at point A, and basically a nice dash there from Young-hoon picks up a bunch of, or from Taejun rather, picks up a bunch of damage. So
yeah.
Eska just keeps shooting heads.
See, I mean, the thing is the players on Lunatic-Hai on the Overwatch World Cup team played so well on Arhan's Genji. I feel like they would be dying to use the Genji here in this match, and I'm surprised it's taken them this long. Hero really harassing the hell. In the back lines, gets slept, and that's not a good place to take a map, man. He gets a nice shield from Zarya, though. That's going to keep him up for the moment, but it looks like it will be a hold from T6. Jaehong going down as Myung-hoon picks one up on his own Genji. And yeah, in the end, Lunatic-Hai is going to have to reset here.
Yeah, they are just going to have to fall back. Was a nice attempt there into the back line by Miro, but the problem is that they came in relatively even in terms of ult economy, but T6 comes out to a lead. Myung-hoon almost there, and Eska going to take a ride on the conveyor belt. They call this like the sushi belt in Korean because because of the restaurants that have the sushi conveyor belts.
Yeah, makes sense. I call it the Bastion delivery service. Or the, oh, never mind. Of the Nano Boost coming in. Jaehong has his own Dragon Blade if he wants to use it. Meanwhile, Myung-hoon trying to cause a lot of problems, and I think he is. Dean takes himself out, but I've got a feeling that Myung-hoon may have helped a bit with that. Gamsu kills off Miro, and he's okay.
Forces biotic grenade, but that's about it.
I don't know if I'd be that far up if I was Eska. That's a very dangerous spot to be with a lot of your team down.
He's fine. Actually, I really like what Lunatic-Hai did there. So they heard the Nano Boost and the Dragon Blade coming out early. So you know what they did? They just fell back. They stood there, Miro dies, whatever. But now they have 5 ults to work with, Doa. That's a lot of tools.
Oh dear.
Eska.
Bye. Oh, I thought he was knocked off the edge. He didn't quite get knocked off the edge. Lucky guy.
Yeah, but
back on.
That's another ult. Lunatic-Hai keeps getting one ult after another here, and now they're up to 5, nearly 6. And T6 is going to have a hard time defending this.
Oh,
my
unless
Lord.
Zumba gets everybody in the Graviton Surge. Good sound barrier, though, from Toby. Keep people up. Myung-hoon on the top, though, with that Genji trying to cause problems. Taejun takes out OVERWATCH. Goodbye. And looks like they may take the point right here.
Yep, well, that's...
we'll see. It's hard. I mean, the respawns are really close here on Volskaya Industries point B. There goes Myung-hoon. They've got to get a little bit more time here. Liz goes down on that Tracer. Meanwhile, looks like Gamsu back on the point, gets a Nano Boost, has a Primal Rage. They're going to use the Graviton Surge to keep him out, and it keeps building right now. They're so close. Gamsu just trying desperately, takes out Jaehong on that Ana. Meanwhile, Eska has a Deadeye, looking for a couple. Waited for a long time to pop that one, and Jaehong's gonna, or Taejun rather, is going to take advantage of it. Myung-hoon. His names are difficult sometimes. There's Myung-hoon. Taejun, meanwhile, gets it. Looks like that's gonna be it. Kind of a little bit of craziness at the end, but Lunatic-Hai will take point B.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent defense there, but again, patience in the ult economy. That's what pays off for Lunatic-Hai. We saw T6 just overcommitting. They did not have to use the Nano Boost and the Dragon Blade when they did at the start of that fight.
Yeah.
They really wanted to play aggressively, but they didn't get anything for it. They just killed Miro. And then we saw them come back and sort of use that Primal Rage a little bit too early. And that meant that they used 3 ultimates while basically we just saw Lunatic-Hai sit back and say, all right, bring out your ults, just bring them to us, and then we're going to roll in with 5-6 ults and crush you on point B. So they end up with a very good time of 4:29.
That's a lot of time in the time bank as we swap sides. Lunatic-Hai on the defense now. CONBOX T6 on the offense. You know, our observers are pretty good, I think, but they did the ultimate kill the caster move last match. They switched from Genji to Genji.
No, you never do that.
I know, you can't switch from one hero to the exact same hero on the other team, especially when they're both ulting.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
Yeah, that doesn't make our lives easy, does it?
Well, I mean, I'm fine. You're the one who has to do play-by-play.
I know, yeah. Doesn't make my life easy. Just makes you laugh.
It does.
Makes me sad.
It's my Schadenfreude moment.
Take joy in my pain.
I am. Schadenfreude is strong with me, though, as you know. We've cast together for years now.
Well, you and your hubris may eventually struggle with something at some point.
I struggle with many things, but play-by-play, I fortunately do not have to struggle with that.
Yeah. Lucky you.
Yeah, I struggle with casting with you, though. That's.
Oh, come on. You know that's not true.
No, you're great.
I know. I Han Solo'd you there. I know.
You Han Solo'd me so hard. All right, let's get into this.
Gamsu sees that Lunatic-Hai is set up on that left side there. That is a place that you can take advantage of if you're running the Winston. And they're going to go in. Miro on the point.
Saying
defending.
hi.
Yeah, just chilling out. Lunatic-Hai on the defense right now, of course. And yeah, saying hi up close and personal to Younghoon. Younghoon, goodbye.
Whoops.
Whoa, okay, somehow he lived through all that. Now he's got to deal with the opposing Winston.
Does he?
Up on top. On the defense.
I'm just amazed by Miro's positioning at all times. He's one of the most fun Winston players to watch. He just zones out everybody so hard, and he splits them up very nicely. Look at this, he buys both supports, okay.
Yeah, that biotic grenade was really good, though. He needs to back away. Yep. Gets a bit of health back again from his healer. Has the Primal Rage if he needs it. Tracks on Younghoon. That is a fried ninja right there.
Everybody's fried right now with Miro. He split them up beautifully. His awareness of the enemy team is magnificent, as you can see right there. Just piles on into the supports, forces a bunch of abilities out them, falls back very briefly, and then goes right back in.
One thing, too, that it seems basic, but it's still not something you see a lot of Winstons do, even at the pro level, is that he circle strafes around people when he gets in close. You may not think you need to, but you do. Myunghoon pulls out the Dragon Blade, going to try to get some progress here on the point. Gets the Nano Boost as well. There's one kill. Eska takes out Myunghoon there. There goes the Genji. He's got the Nano Boost now, looking for kills, maybe onto Liz. There's the Hell. You can find him. Yep, there's a headshot. Eska, again, having no trouble at all helping Lunatic-Hai hold this point.
So close right there. Nice dash. Oh,
where'd you go?
Actually, Liz played that. Liz is playing this really well. He might actually win this duel.
Tracer's so annoying. No, Barochi! He comes in. He's like, I did all the work for this one. It wasn't that Tracer.
Well, Taejun's still there.
I was going to say, T6 getting a little bit of time on this point now before Lunatic-Hai takes the defensive point back. And Younghoon on the, bye.
Ana found him.
What goes up must come down, including Space Gorillas. By Dean.
I mean, he did come down from the moon, so.
He did.
That's very true, actually.
Yep.
Well,
when did he go up there? I think he was born on the moon.
Well, he just came down there.
Yeah.
So what stays up must come down, apparently.
What started up must come down? I don't know. CONBOX T6 gets point A. Took them a little bit longer, still got a good time bank to work with, though. Liz gets found out on the flank. They've got Taejun now on the Tracer to try to combat this.
Yeah, they don't have the best ults available right now. They are going to have to do a little bit of charging here before they can actually mount an effective offense. So it should be good for Lunatic-Hai. They should at least get a better time at the very least on this map, even if they can't hold on point B.
Yep, that's right. Miro able to just do a lot of damage and build up that ult so quickly. He's got that Primal Rage if he needs it. You need to be careful about a Winston with Primal Rage on that point if you're the offense. It can knock you off into the ICC very quickly. Jaehong takes out his Ana counterpart on the other side. And Miro, gets back just in time. Stays alive. And Lunatic-Hai holding strong for the moment.
Yep, buying a lot of time. And definitely going to have a better time bank at this point. Myung-Hoon feeling a bit of poke damage, and T6 just working their way up to 6 ults. But Lunatic-Hai, they have switched over to the Mei. Crucially, I like that change around right now.
Yeah,
you don't necessarily need the McCree against this composition. You're dealing with close-range heroes with Tracer and Genji.
Well, the Blizzard covers nearly the entire point, so that can be a game saver right there. It looks like Graviton Surge was used by Lunatic-Hai. They use a big bang. Taejun takes out Zunba. It's a nice kill for Lunatic-Hai side. Toby takes on Gamsu. That's 2 already. CONBOX T6, so they have 4 ults available. So they can come back with a strong attack. There's a reset from Myung-Hoon. He was going to jump off anyway. And so now, Lunatic-Hai, they've got the Blizzard though. And the thing is that Blizzard can actually shut down the entire push from T6.
Even with those 6 ults, Noah, it's the combination of Blizzard and Sound Barrier is like the ultimate defense on one of these points. So they can survive. Let's see how many ults they can get out. Now, CONBOX should really just get this Blizzard out if possible and then make a 6 ult push. But we'll see what they actually do and how trigger-happy Eska is going to be.
Yeah. What the hell? Just keeping everybody healed there. Lunatic-Hai, Eska on the main, tries to split people off a bit. Miro jumps in. There's a nano boost on the Dragon Blade. He's got the Sound Barrier as well. The Blizzard comes in. Eska goes down though. Good start. There goes Jaehong, and absolutely Myung-Hoon is tearing apart Lunatic-Hai. They survive the Blizzard, and they are going to get some good percentage on this, it looks like. Once they can deal with Miro, he's got the Primal Rage, gets sleep darted, and he will have to back off for the moment. Toby is back, staying alive, and Lunatic-Hai actually not really allowing T6 to get much going. Despite that big 6 ult push, they used everything, but they haven't been able to get much out of it yet.
Yeah, and that's the key, Doa. They used absolutely everything on the initial push, and now they don't have any follow-up, and they've got a long way to walk, so they're going to have to do a huge amount of work right here. Miro still being annoying on the upper platforms, and they are slowly taking this point, but that's a huge Graviton.
Yeah, Dean goes down, but they don't really get anything out of it. Lunatic-Hai just trying to delay as long as they can, but CONBOX T6 with a good position on the point. There's a Diva now. Of course, Dragon Blade coming in from Myung-Hoon, going to try to slice apart Lunatic-Hai yet again. Runs into a Mei wall, backs off, finds Eska. And Lunatic-Hai, keeping this going for a little while. Liz gets a kill onto Dean, though, so CONBOX T6 just can't be dislodged. Looks like they might finally get it. Yeah, Gamsu pushing everybody away, and so it will be 2 points in response by T6 as well. What a close series we've got here.
Absolutely, and good job there. Myung-Hoon on the initial attack picked up so many people while avoiding being frozen in that Blizzard and even powering through the Sound Barrier with the help of the Nano Boost and the Dragon Blade together. And that sets up the initial, basically 2-man advantage at the start that they had, and then the trickle through. Credit to Lunatic-Hai, they kept that alive for a pretty long time. They bought themselves about another minute.
Yeah.
But again, the patience, the ult economy game has been really interesting to watch tonight. Both teams smart about how they use and how they save their ults.
So we go into a situation here now where CONBOX T6 with 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in their time bank. That is less than Lunatic-Hai, so they will start off on the offense. Lunatic-Hai, or when I should say, they get their second offensive round, will have a lot more time to work with. So right now for Lunatic-Hai, it's all about holding at point A. That's not something you really expect to do throughout the first round oftentimes on Volskaya Industries, but with this lower time bank, they've got a good chance to do it.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll see if Eska can have another solid repeat performance on the McCree. T6, Liz probably going to be going for that Tracer again.
Yep.
Standing on the Bastion right now, as we can see. Maybe McCree. Maybe they'll try and answer Eska's McCree with one of their own, or they're going to go for Bastion.
Okay, all right. Liz coming in now. Luxury Watch Blue is coming up later. I thought that would be the team we might see pull out the Bastion, but it's going to be CONBOX T6.
I wonder what they're going to do with Bastion on point A here.
So they're going to run up to the second level and then just try to camp him out behind the Reinhardt shield. You do see this sometimes. I saw a lot of North American teams doing this, but I haven't seen this in Korea very often. Here we go. He's going to try it, but he is just completely dove on by Lunatic-Hai. Somehow he survives, though. That biotic grenade doing work, keeping Liz alive, and they may actually have a pretty good position here. Miro comes in again, has to back away down to just like 20 health, but Lunatic-Hai in the end finally gets the kill. Taejun, I think, got the hook on that Bastion, and that's what turn things around in the end.
Well,
It
again,
was a good attempt, though.
Jae-Hong, this is why he's so valuable as an Ana player. He's an excellent player overall. It's fun to watch him play Zarya.
Yeah.
But he will kill the other Ana player on the team,
Yeah.
and that's what started that fight off, was the hell going down to Jae-Hong. And then Miro just gets in there with a Zarya shield, and they run interference. Meanwhile, Eska's just unloading into the front line, so a really solid hold. They're going to stick with it, though. Liz is close to that tank mode.
I think you do stick with it here. Miro just can't really get a good position. Whoa, they need to be so careful here.
Okay, they can
up.
stay there. They're not on the point. Who cares, right?
I guess.
Just
I mean,
spam into that doorway. They
bit
have
of
to walk through
indecision.
it.
You got to move up somehow. Lunatic-Hai gets grabbed and taken out by Taejun. And that is the Roadhog play that we expect. What a great whole hog. He just destroys CONBOX T6. And I think this offense is over, man. I mean,
This is nano boosted.
they've got 41 seconds. Yeah, nano boost on that Bastion. He's got that configuration tank. Oh, he gets a kill on Nadine. I thought he was going to have to rocket jump up there, but he
Eska.
wants time on the point. He doesn't get enough of it, though. Eska with the kill onto that Bastion.
Eska has a sliver of health nearly reflected onto
Bye.
him. He's going to get picked up by the Dragon Blade, but they've got more work to do, Noah.
Yeah, Miro has the nano boost. He can chase Myungun away, though. Myungun with not a lot of health left. The sound barrier, though, onto T6. Can they put a push together? I don't know. Gamsu very low on that Reinhardt. He will die. Miro has a Primal Rage, gonna use it to try to keep CONBOX T6 off the point. We're down to just 4 seconds left. The hell dies. Liz trying to stay alive on that Tracer, gonna force the overtime. Miro doing work here on this Winston. There goes Zunba, and Lunatic-Hai might be able to full hold. Liz got the kill on Dean. Myungun finally takes on Miro. And have they held? I don't know, man.
No, actually, Gamsu's
The
switching up the
opposite.
season.
Yeah.
That was, wow. Okay, so
So
Miro
close.
had some pretty heroic Winston play, but it wasn't enough to buy them time.
You only get 30 seconds, though, in this situation, so they have to get to point B ASAP.
Yeah, they do. And Lunatic-Hai has a pretty convincing ult advantage right now, too.
Yeah. Well, the Deadeye itself should be able to just zone
Yep.
T6 out, you know? See what they can do. Liz has that pulse bomb going in. They can get the kill onto Eska. Maybe they can make something happen. 5 seconds left, though. There's a Deadeye just trying to zone as best he can. Winston's shield goes down. Gamsu trying to stay alive. Gets nobody with it. It did buy time. There's the overtime as well now. The hell gets a kill onto Dean, but it's a good start. There goes Myungun, and yeah, without that Genji, I think it's impossible here for CONBOX T6 to take it. There goes this nice headshot from Eska. GG, that is it. And so Lunatic-Hai will hold T6 to just 1 point.
Well, Doa, but that 1 point was so crucial, because now, if Lunatic-Hai doesn't take both of them, then we're going to be heading into another sudden death.
Yeah.
So, a little bit risky here. Lunatic-Hai has to power through 2 points in 4.5 minutes. And T6 in the nick of time, taking point A right there, thanks to Liz's nano-boosted Bastion play. Man, this series has been so good. This is some very high-level Overwatch.
Absolutely. I mean, you know it's good when it's just these tiny, minute things that are really separating the winners from the losers in each of these rounds. So we swap sides again. T6 on the defense, Lunatic-Hai on the offense. Taejun back on the Genji. I think that's really good. They completed Volskaya Industries both points very quickly the first time they tried this. And frankly, I think it's way past due. I don't know why they haven't been running Taejun's Genji. We do know he has kind of a reputation for being up and down on that hero, but they really need him to be good right now.
I mean,
he was good.
He's
He was
inconsistent, period. But yes, he did have a good game, certainly. On the Genji, or a good round, rather. So nice to see him on that again and performing to a high level. But the other reason why I really like the Ana Genji here is that it's really snowbally. If you can kill them quickly on point A and get the ult advantage on your Ana and your Genji, like, you could just tear through point B instantly, basically.
Yeah. All right, so no Bastion Cheese coming out for Lunatic-Hai. They're just going to do the old-fashioned style, throwing the cybernetic ninjas in your face.
As they did in the days
yes.
of yore.
That's right. The good old days when cybernetics were cybernetic and ninjas were ninjas. I don't know where I'm going with that one. Eska on that McCree, as usual. Good shots onto Gamsu, actually, taking a lot of health.
All right, Liz got
Off
the
the
first
Winston.
kill, though.
That's right, and that's going to make it tough for Lunatic-Hai to push any farther forward. Kobe gets one. Myungun in the back line, and this is a big problem for Lunatic-Hai. Yeah, they're going to have to back away, and they need to take this fast.
Well, they're not going to take it on the first push, at least. The initial pickoff makes it a lot of difference. So they are going to just trade 1 for 1 after that. That eventually leads to a Lunatic-Hai retreat.
Yeah, no character swaps. They're going to stick on the same heroes.
Yeah,
Myung-hoon move back in again.
Myung-hoon closer to the Dragon Blade. That's going to be probably a big difference maker here.
All right, it begins. They're onto the point right now. Miro jumps up, jumps back down, as he doesn't want to really get too close to Zumba there. Myung-hoon just firing, trying to build up
Really
that
close.
Dragon Blade. He's nearly got it.
Nice.
Oh, gets the kill into Taejun, and he's got the ultimate. That is big. Lunatic-Hai in a lot of trouble now. Liz took out Miro as well. Oh, but that's a kill coming in from Esco. He's got that nano boost on the McCree.
Oh,
That's a kill
wow.
to Kamsu. Oh, there goes the hell. Flashbang to the face, and Lunatic-Hai may be able to claim this point right here.
Well, again, Doa, huge play from Eska, saving the skin of Lunatic-Hai.
Yeah.
They put the nano boost on him, knowing that Taejun was not there with the Dragon Blade quite yet to take advantage of it. And meanwhile, we saw that really was Myung-hoon trying to target down the enemy Genji, but it wasn't enough.
All right, Graviton Surge comes in. Lunatic-Hai tries to take it right here, right now. Zunba goes down. Taejun gets hit with a sleep dart right after he pulls out the Dragon Blade. He may live. He's got that sound barrier, but Myung-hoon already getting 2 kills for the CONBOX T6 side. Oh boy, I don't know. Looks like they'll hold for now.
Yep, definitely
That was
going to be a
close.
hold after that. Clutch sleep dart there
Yeah.
from the hell. Manages to save his team, and Myung-hoon answers right back. And now they've got a nice Graviton Surge to work with from CONBOX C6, and it's going to be a long time for Lunatic-Hai. They only have 2.5 minutes, but they've got to do something. Looks like we're going to see a swap.
I mean, CONBOX T6 doesn't have the Mei for the Blizzard on defense here, but they do have Liz on that Reaper. He's already got his Death Blossom loaded up, and that's something just as effective as clearing points as Blizzard is a lot of the time.
Yeah, Taejun will be playing catch up on the ult charge, so
Yeah, he will.
they're basically Lunatic-Hai needs to make a couple of pushes before this goes down.
Oh, this is really good against Miro.
Nope.
That's a problem. Oh, Liz
How
getting
does
very
he
low,
live
though.
through this?
I do not know how that happens, man. He made Liz miss. Eska, though, loading up that Deadeye, looking for an opportunity. Doesn't get anyone. Gets a nano boost right after that, though. Oh, got to be careful. There's the Death Blossom. Doesn't get anyone with it. No, Liz did get Dean, but Eska responding very well, waiting for that health back. He can't wait. He's got to get back into the fight right now. Goes ahead. There's the kill onto Gamsu. And Lunatic-Hai may have an opportunity here. They've got the sound barrier as well. Miro back once again. He never really went away. He's got the Primal Rage if he needs to use it, though. Jumping down on Myung-hoon, found that Cybernetic Ninja. Myung-hoon goes down, a kill for Toby. Oporochi on the run. Lunatic-Hai getting a little bit of time now on that point. There's a Primal Rage, just trying to push everybody off. Get some time. Build up that counter a little bit.
He's
Miro
got to
has
get out.
to back away. Yeah, I guess that's not going to work out in the end.
Yeah, nobody was left on the point for him, so just had to back out,
That was definitely one
try
of
and
those
reset.
where'd everybody go situations.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have any allies left, so maybe should not have actually pushed the Primal Rage right there. The rest of his allies had already fallen away.
Yeah.
And he was trying to push the Ana off the point, but nobody left to actually cap it. So, CONBOX C6, they've got a comfortable ult advantage right now, though that is melting away now that Dean.
Uh-oh. Well, Liz got to be careful.
There you
There's a
go.
nano boost onto Jaehoon. He's got the Death Blossom. Taejun pops it. Graviton Surge trying to set that up. He gets a few. That's good for Lunatic-Hai. They started off. Liz does take out Toby, though. Don't need the Lucio for the moment. Liz just trying to be annoying on that Tracer as Lunatic-Hai gets a little bit more time on the point. There goes Taejun, though. Rather, Taejun getting the kill. And here comes the nano boosted Winston as Gamsu comes in to try to turn things around. He gets too low too fast, though. Has to pop that Primal Rage. Trying to keep people out of the point. Halfway there for Lunatic-Hai. Zunba now on the Diva. Switched away from that Zarya. Taejun on the run. Lunatic-Hai coming back in. Pops Diva out of the mech, I believe. Yeah, got the robot, as you can see on the screen, but Gamsu gets the kill onto him. Miro looking for a bit more, using his ultimate. Trying to force away CONBOX C6. He's going to get slapped. He gets so low, and there's a kill for Liz. And it looks like overtime will go. It's going to be another hold. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Okay, well,
Wow.
clutch hold there from T6. They had the smaller time bank, but they're going to force it into a second sudden death match. And one thing, we've been talking a lot about Miro's Winston, Doa, but I want to talk about Gamsu's Winston for a moment, because the number of times he has denied Deadeyes with line of sight from his Winston shield has been pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And even though he died to the Beyblade on that final push right there, his Winston shield, again, was very well placed to absorb at least the initial burst of damage, even though he was inside the Graviton Surge at the time. So Gamsu has a very good idea about how to deny line of sight damage and line of sight abilities. And the camera's going to run into the booth.
Oops, it's a big booth. You know, sometimes it's hard to avoid it. Lunatic-Hai, though, they won the last tiebreaker. It's a bit of an awkward situation, and we're just going to take a pause. Looks like there's an audio issue there.
Yeah, with the Lunatic-Hai booth, so it will be an Eska-related audio issue.
Yeah.
We'll take a second to get that resolved, but man, this has been just an insanely close series so far. You can really see how much T6 has developed.
Yeah. Man, T6 is looking so good. Gamsu is looking so much better. We mentioned just how high he is in the solo queue rankings, and you can tell the practice is certainly paying off for these guys.
He's a very popular streamer here in Korea as well.
Yeah.
So, wow, good stuff. So
Yeah.
we're seeing a lot of variety here. Still, Doa, I would like to see more Mei in these situations. I think it's a flaw of both of these teams. They don't necessarily have the most versatile compositions to include Mei.
You know, it's one of those things that, you know, may not have a big impact in this match itself, but it will down the road when they run into other teams, you know, like Rogue, Reunited, you know, Africa Blue for that matter. So it's something that needs to be addressed in the future. Looks like our audio issue is solved, and it's time to see who takes Full Sky Industries by going to a point on a different map. All right, and we are on Sanctum yet again. We did Sanctum for the first tiebreaker, doing Sanctum for the second tiebreaker. Lunatic-Hai was able to win this one. No doubt they feel pretty good about seeing this pop up again.
Well, we'll see if we're going to go with the same compositions. Byung-Hoon actually showing Roadhog for the first time today.
Oh, Roadhog is just so good
He is.
on control maps in general, but on Sanctum especially. There's a lot of places that you can drop people off the cliffs. You get a lot of narrow corridors and sort of corners that you can whole hog people into. So I think just a really good hero for this map especially, this round especially.
I agree. It may lead us to perfectly symmetrical team compositions, and that's what we're going to see.
Okay. I mean, nobody really misses the old days of like double Soldier, double Tracer, double Lucio. They've come a long way since those symmetrical compositions, but now we've got this.
Those were the dark times of Overwatch, though.
Those were the darkest times. Were the,
Eska.
Wow, Eska with a nice kill on the Hell early on. I was going to say the darkest times were the double Genji doubles and Yatacoms. Eska with 2 now, and Lunatic-Hai going to do what they've been doing on control maps all night long, and it looks like they will take the point first.
It's so brutal, though, when you're running the exact same comp, because if you get an ult advantage, it can snowball incredibly easily.
Yeah, it can. That is the one thing about these mirror comps, is that the momentum you can get going is
even more insane than usual, basically.
It is pretty scary. Wow, Eska just, how does he hit all those headshots from that range? There's a Deadeye already, looking for a bit, doesn't get any kills, zones out the teammate well enough. Was expecting that charge to go a little bit farther when he threw the flashbang, but didn't end up mattering. Got the kill anyway, looking for the kill now on OVERWATCH, and he'll get it. Easy peasy.
Eska is so much the MVP tonight for Lunatic-Hai. Absolutely astounding McCree play.
I mean, we saw what happened at the Overwatch World Cup when they put this guy in McCree, which was most of the time he just destroyed people. What can you say?
Yeah, well, we're not seeing any swaps come through yet, so Liz going to have to do well with this Deadeye, Doa.
Yep. Certainly will. Now Liz looking for something with Deadeye, doesn't get anything out of it. And they're going to need to find some way to push forward. Oh, there's a Graviton Surge, though. Sound Barrier keeping T6 up.
God.
Nice Earth Shatter, though. And with that Nano Boost onto Dean, or rather onto Miro, that is going to be it. Lunatic-Hai crushing CONBOX T6. They've got some ults left, but they're really not the right ones. And with already near 75% for Lunatic-Hai, it's looking like it might be another overtime win here for the red team.
Well, Lunatic-Hai just needs to spread out right now because their only downfall is going to come through a Graviton surge into a nano-boosted Roadhog ult. That's their best chance. Can absolutely ace a team wipe them. So just need to make sure that you're not grouped up, and then you should be good.
That's what you do. You run through, you put the Graviton Surge on the back line. Zeska set up with that Deadeye, takes out Liz. That's a nice one to get to. Whole Hog comes in, but it comes in late. There's the, oh wow, Gamsu nearly going down. That's good flashbang from Eska. CONBOX T6 though, getting in the point. Taejun tries to walk in with his Whole Hog. Toby will get the kill on the opposing Lucio. Meanwhile, Eska still firing to the point, and Lunatic-Hai loses it at 99%. Uh-oh.
And this looks like what we saw before. Taejun actually is going to swap over right now because he used his Whole Hog, and that was a tool that could have been used to retake right there because now they don't have an ult advantage any longer, so this could go for the long haul, Doa.
Yeah. This is a little bit risky now for Lunatic-Hai. It's a hard one to come back on. Eska low, but he gets a nice flashbang onto the nano-boosted Reinhardt. Earthshatter doesn't really hit anybody. Lunatic-Hai still, though, not able to quite break out of their cage, although Eska wants to change all that. Flashbang doesn't land, and he gets taken down. The Hell gets Taejun in the meantime. There goes Dean. Liz kind of on his own.
I mean, I think Eska should have just fallen back right there. They knew the nano boost had already been used, so why go for that? You could just respawn, come back, have a nano boost advantage. CONBOX C6 is going to have a big bang here ready by the time that we see Lunatic-Hai attack again. So they will have some nice ult combos, and we can see Liz waiting right there. They're going to use it.
All right, Graviton Surge onto CONBOX T6. Deadeye loaded up. Oh, he can't get anything out of it, though. And CONBOX T6 will come back again. I believe that was a good pulse bomb, from Liz.
Yep.
And then some follow-up, and Lunatic-Hai really in danger of losing this map.
Yeah. Lunatic-Hai grouped up right there, and Zunba managed to catch them right by the stairs. They didn't think they were in danger because they could only see Zarya on the point, but Liz was waiting there on the flank just with the combo. They distracted them basically, and Dean threw away his Zarya ultimate as a result too. So CONBOX is in a commanding position now as we get towards 99-99.
They're going to hit 90% here. Taejun has the pulse bomb, and they really need to count on him being a hero here. Eska sneaker on the side. CONBOX T6 drops that sound barrier as Lunatic-Hai comes in, maybe a little bit early. We'll see if it works out. If they can get the kills, it's worth it. But there goes Gamsu. Taejun gets one as well. Zunba low. Eska wanting to run away, doesn't want to get closer. And meanwhile, Dean, I believe, did fall to his death there. Eska with another kill. That sound barrier, like I said, it was early, and it may have cost T6 big time. There goes the Hell. Taejun gets the kills. Overtime comes in, and Lunatic-Hai takes the draw yet again. That was so close.
The hero play there was the boop on the Zarya. Off the end, Toby picking up the kill of the Zarya on the point, making it possible to flip it over. It looked like sometimes it could be difficult to tell whether Zarya is nano boosted or just has high energy. It did appear that the Zarya Zunba was nano boosted, but it was hard to tell. Regardless, just picking up that kill allowed them to flip the point.
Yeah.
And to take it at 99-99, this series is just insane in terms of how close it is.
Man, that was so the second time in a row. We go to the tiebreaker. It's Nepal Sanctum. Lunatic-Hai takes it, but only after nearly getting a 99-99% situation and pulling it back at the last minute. It has really been the smallest of margins that have given Lunatic-Hai the edge here in this series. They are up 2-1. Only needs one more win here on our next map to take the match.
That big bang was so sexy, though, by T6 because they had 4 of their members across from the point, and they baited out Lunatic-Hai's Graviton Surge, and then they walked into it and got 4-man big bang on the stairs because they didn't know where Liz was. Really nice. So it will be Watch Point Gibraltar, selected by CONBOX T6.
Yeah, a map we haven't seen a whole lot of in Apex League lately, so it'll be neat to see another one onto that.
I mean, CONBOX T6 is fighting for their tournament life right now. They lose here, they basically have to pray for some sort of crazy, like, 3-way 1-2 tie. Or,
if that's
or
possible,
2-1 tie.
Sure,
it is, a 3-way 2-1 tie is possible in this group with MV T6.
Okay.
But basically the way tiebreakers work is it'll be maps. So maps first and then head-to-head.
And in close matches like this, that doesn't really help you in the total maps category.
No, especially if you lose 1-3 instead of 2-3.
Yeah. All right, so watch point Gibraltar will be map number 4. Does Lunatic-Hai take it right here, or does CONBOX come back and tie us up yet again? It's time to find out as we move on into our escort map. Let's go to Gibraltar.
Get it.
And welcome to Watchpoint Gibraltar, where the Overwatch flag still flies high. Because apparently nobody realizes that Winston is still living there and that Overwatch is doing fine and dandy.
Also, I'm surprised he's like allowed to fly that flag or whatever. He's just sitting there alone
Yeah, no kidding.
between the Mediterranean and the Atlantic Oceans, flying his Overwatch flag, remembering the old days.
Maybe there's a reason why people don't go to Watchpoint Gibraltar and realize that this is happening. Maybe you know, it's like people think it's haunted or something.
I mean, there's not really a reason to go to Gibraltar except if you're trying to be in a militarily strategic zone.
Yeah, so why would you give that up to just some random guerrilla scientist? That's the question, man. CONBOX T6 on the offense. They can have Liz on the Hanzo, maybe. We'll see if he sticks with it. But OVERWATCH going with that Zenyatta again. Another one of those maps where you can really take advantage of the triple tank situation.
Usually you don't see Hanzo on attack on point 1.
You can, but I don't know if we will anymore because Taejun just took him out. Dean gets a kill as well, so Lunatic-Hai holding strong for the moment.
Going to be playing the Mei here.
They'll let the payload go forward. Liz, yeah, switching over to that McCree now. OVERWATCH, though, sticking with the Zenyatta for the moment. Gamsu has to back off down to just 9 health there.
Well, Liz
on the Mei now.
Liz realizes there aren't any long-range threats here. It's a Mei and a Roadhog, so why not just free fire into the fat tanks and try and just land those headshots, get a pick off, and there's no threat to him standing in the back line.
All right, Nano Boost on to Gamsu. We'll see what he can do with it. Myunghoon can't get anything done as he gets picked off by Taejun. Meanwhile, Gamsu gets in back lines, looking for Jaehong. Gets pooped off at the last minute. Nice save. Oh, he jumps right back up. There's the kill. Can't get the second support as he gets right-click to the afterlife. And it looks like for now, Lunatic-Hai will hold.
Jaehong wasted so much of his time right there. Meanwhile, he also got the nano boost off, and that allowed his team to clean up the low ground.
Yeah.
And Toby just annoyingly bouncing back and forth on top of the box. And we are going to reset right now, but that means even though Myunghoon has the Dragon Blade, the hell used that nano boost earlier. Gonna wait for that one. Taejun gets hooked anyway.
Another hook. Man, that's the second time now that Taejun has been able to take out Myunghoon with the Roadhog hook.
Yep, it's buying them so much time. 2 minutes left, Noah.
Yeah.
And Liz trying to get through, but there is a Reinhardt shield there on the high ground. And Lunatic-Hai going to be feeling comfortable with the number of ults they have. OVERWATCH is on that Zenyatta, so he can get on top of the payload. Do like the Zenyatta with the McCree against the triple tank. But
come on down.
Okay, I guess Taejun's going to hit every hook, so it doesn't matter.
This is such a great map for Roadhog as well. There's so many places where you can camp out, you can hide, you can get a lot of clear space, you get some good hooks. But man, landing him is the thing. Another kill for Taejun. He's just going insane on this Roadhog.
I mean, there is no Reinhardt here to block hooks.
No.
So they have to rely on the cooldown of the Winston shield or on the reflect from the Genji, and that's led to a situation where basically Taejun has kept Lunatic-Hai a man up this entire time, so they've been able to build ults. Liz going to flip over to the Reaper right now, but it will be 6 ults to 5 on the eventual T6 push.
You know, it's only a minute 22 left as well, so CONBOX T6 running out of time on this offensive round. I think they need to have a big Nano Blade. The Hell's about to get the Nano Boost. Zunba has that Graviton Surge, and that's what they're going to need. They're going to need a big combo. There's a Graviton Surge, pulls in a few. Sound Barrier immediately going down. OVERWATCH, he's right there with the Transcendence to try to keep his team safe. Kills coming in for CONBOX T6, and maybe they've gotten enough now. Liz coming in with the Reaper, and yeah, it looks like Miro's going to have to back off. I think they've got point A out of this. We'll see. Gamsu gets a kill on the Winston, but they've got, wow, the payload is way back there.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit farther forward. Holy cow.
Jaehong didn't actually have time to use the nano boost.
Well,
it was a nice attack from CONBOX T6. They caught a lot of people in the Zarya ult. So even though Myunghoon went down early, they were able to get enough damage. Crucially, the Transcendence actually was the big tide turner in that fight. But now they're going to have to deal with the nano boosted Reinhardt on this final push.
Yeah. Let's see, Gamsu pops a Primal Rage, just trying to keep Lunatic-Hai back outside of the zone. He's going to go after Jaehong there. Oh, Jaehong goes down the hell, gets 2 kills, actually, as CONBOX T6 pushes that payload a long way. It is stopped up, though. Looks like they might barely get it. Yeah, Taejun takes a nap, doesn't wake up from it. That is it. Eska gets a kill to Gamsu in the end, but they get point A. I can't believe they were able to push the payload that far and push through the defense again.
Well, only that one ult up, though, and because the Biotic Grenade came down so early onto Miro, they had to delay the nano boost. So they bought themselves time with that. No healing available, so they need to make sure the Reinhardt was actually going to be able to stay alive there. And now Taejun going to be going for the Reaper instead.
Younghoon's got the Dragon Blade available. He's going to push it off as the Transcendence comes in. Gets a ton of kills. Zunba with a couple himself, too. And I love how they're pairing the Transcendence with this. They go in, and there's no risk because if you got a Zenyatta on top of you, keeping everybody healed, they can just dive en masse onto Lunatic-Hai.
Yeah, also has been great with the combination.
Oh, goodbye. That was awkward.
Eska.
Hi.
Yeah, and
Zarya's here.
I mean, Zunba is carrying this map, Doa.
Yeah, absolutely. Nano boost onto the Reinhardt, but there's not a whole lot that Miro can do here.
Oh!
No, not a whole lot.
Not enough.
Liz has the Death Blossom as they keep pushing Lunatic-Hai back, and they get steamrolled right now, but CONBOX T6 is getting into the point on this map that's really hard to push, but man, Lunatic-Hai's falling apart here.
Yeah, they really are, and one of their problems is sometimes they overcommit to defenses and start streaming in 1-by-1 right before the enemy takes a point, and that leads to really awkward, long pushes from the enemy team sometimes. They overcommit to risky defenses, and we saw that on point B right here on Gibraltar. Liz is going to be looking for the Death Blossom, and he's going to find it.
Yeah, gets the nano boost, might not even need to use that. There's the sound barrier. Going to wait it out. Some Graviton Surge waited out as well. Eska has that flashbang. Nearly takes out Gamsu as he backs away. So Lunatic-Hai holding for the moment. I think very good for Liz to hold that Death Blossom, especially because everybody was dying. So I guess that's not a time to use it.
He was Graviton too, had to go into the Ray form to escape, and that means that Death Blossom, everybody has a chance to scatter. Not really going to be an option, but CONBOX C6 still looking good. You can keep the Reaper alive with the Transcendence during the Death Blossom if you have to push right onto the payload. But
yeah, for sure.
Beyblade is available for Lunatic-Hai, and Taejun is looking for the drop down.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. It's time. Welcome to the dance party. Oh, great Transcendence, though, just in time. Coming in, Younghoon gets one, or gets taken out, though, as Eska comes in. That's a great Earth Shatter. Good follow-up. Graviton Surge used by T6, but nobody really there to take advantage of it. And T6 looks like they will be pushed back for the moment here. Payload not moving.
Well, the great part about that, though, was that Eska popped the Deadeye at the same time. So basically Transcendence, because it's healing 300 HP a second, if you have enough burst damage, you can one-shot somebody. It doesn't really matter if you're using Transcendence or not.
I mean, it's just like with Junkrat's ultimate. I mean, it doesn't matter if Transcendence is going there, but it is good against the Death Blossom. It's got that at least. Meanwhile, CONBOX T6 trying to push the payload as best they can. They keep moving it forward a little bit anyway. Miro there on that Reinhardt. His shield's getting very low, though he has to back away. Graviton Surge used by Lunatic-Hai as they try to get the kills. There's a nano boost onto Gamsu. Gonna turn around onto Taejun, just kind of finds himself between a rock and a Zumba place. That's not good. Gamsu backing away, holding strong for the moment. Eska, though, gets the kill onto the Zarya, and CONBOX T6 has to back away. Taejun with one himself. And it looks like it's going to be another hold for Lunatic-Hai. And
I mean, they're going to hold this map, though. They have a huge ult advantage right now, and they have the Deadeye to zone.
And that's pretty common. There goes Liz. And, you know, you do see most teams holding on this spot on Watch Point Gibraltar. It's really hard to hold in the bunker area. But this is where you make your stand. Younghoon's got the Dragon Blade, though. Might be time for some heroics, but there's the Deadeye popped, overtime force. Lunatic-Hai, though, all over it. Younghoon with that Dragon Blade trying to make something happen. He needs a miracle. He gets knocked over, gets taken out, and that's going to be about it. Jaehoon pushing people away with the whole hog, and I don't think T6 is going to get back on the point in time. Nope, certainly not with Eska taking people out like that. Whoa. GG.
His flicks are so ridiculous when we watch him. the speed at which he can transfer targets, especially like that, watching him come around a corner and then hit the shot instantaneously is unreal.
Yeah. And so, Lunatic-Hai able to hold CONBOX T6 to just 2 points. And, you know, that payload was pretty far along, but it's not to the point that's not overcomable, right? You sometimes see the payload where it's almost there, and it's like, well, you might as well get 3 points if you're going to win the map. Where it is now, where that mark is that Lunatic-Hai needs to get to, is theoretically pretty manageable.
Yeah, but you do have to be a little bit disappointed in Lunatic-Hai. They fell apart in the middle of the map. They had such a good hold before point A, and they just overcommit to those defenses. I think they get a little bit too eager instead of just saying, okay, we're going to let them take this point, and then we're going to fight them once they get through the point on the opposite side of the hangar doors. Instead, they sort of trickle in one by one, and that gave actually a really big push towards the final point on that map.
You know, honestly, I think one of the things that made a big difference there was the Transcendence coming in for OVERWATCH, because you're just not used to fighting like that right now in Overwatch. And so we saw Lunatic-Hai, you know, dedicate everything you would normally dedicate to defending a push like that, but suddenly you've got Zenyatta in the middle healing everybody on the other side, and you can't make what usually works work.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big difference. And from then on, we did see Lunatic-Hai just kind of fall apart and trickle in one by one, which is not good for defense.
No, he's got to take that loss and not overcommit to it. So
yeah,
Lunatic-Hai going to be going back to the McCree, the Roadhog, presumably. Meanwhile, T6 going to be playing with a high ground composition, using the Winston and the Genji and the Reaper to play around the platforms as they get closer to the hangar entrance.
Yep.
Looks like they're going to be trying something sneaky up there. Wow, whoa!
That is hyper aggressive. You almost never see a team defend this far up, but they will make it work. There goes Eska right off the bat. How long can they keep this going, though?
Hey, this is so risky to do.
It is, but so far so good. Although Taeju does take down Gamsu. Yeah, I don't know about this one. As Myunghoon cartwheels through the air, I think Lunatic-Hai is going to get a lot of time pushing the payload.
Yeah, the problem is that if you fail the defense right there, basically it's a free trip through car wash right here, and that's the choke point that you actually want to defend. So they're going to lose control of the high ground defense, and they're going to lose control of the best choke point to defend from, really. It's going to be a little bit tricky.
And getting the payload through the car wash is basically getting a free point A.
Yeah. Well, it depends on who's controlling the high ground afterwards, and it looks like T6 managed to get back up there. They do have a better composition.
Well, if you move
for movement and dashing up to the high ground.
Yeah, I mean, if you move the payload this far, you only have usually one person down there and everyone else on the high ground. Lunatic-Hai backing off into the server room for a moment here. Zumba has everybody pinned down, but yeah, you gotta watch out for Taeju on the high ground. He is deadly on that Roadhog, and there's a kill. Myunghoon, though, trying to turn things around, gets to the health back just in time. Lunatic-Hai, though, with that sound barrier, pushing the payload even farther. They've nearly got point A. A duel here between Eska and Myunghoon, but now it's getting a bit lopsided as Taeju joins the party. CONBOX T6 sends Gamsu in there with the Primal Rage. Eska pops that Deadeye, looking for some kills. Finds Gamsu in the end, and yeah, that's going to be a pretty easy point A. Or Lunatic-Hai, they will take it.
Yeah, Lunatic-Hai pushed the payload far enough that they could fall back into the server room and sort of recollect themselves, as well as get Taejun back onto the high ground. And oh boy, I don't know, that initial defense by T6 may be costing them a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
That last fight, only Zunba's on shuttle right now, but maybe he could do a lot of work.
Wow, CONBOX T6 was not expecting that Graviton Surge there. Liz gets a nano boost. And rather, Lunatic-Hai wasn't expecting that Graviton Surge, and that's going to be an easy team wipe in favor of T6.
But that was everything, Doa. That was a Dragon Blade from Myunghoon. That was every ult that they had, basically. So it cost them, the price they had to pay for losing that initial fight and then losing the second fight where they did, was that only Zunba was on shuttle, and they had to commit absolutely everything in their ultimate bank to make anything happen. And now Lunatic-Hai should have a good push on their hands.
Yeah, well, Dean's got his own Graviton Surge, and that's usually what you need to pull people off of the shuttle.
Yeah, it is a bit tricky because Lunatic-Hai is running a composition without really dashes to get up there or to disrupt it.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a bit of time to hop up, for sure.
You can ult that with the Zarya. I wonder if what they're waiting for right now. It's like they're going to just move the shuttle and wait. Yeah, or move the payload.
Yeah, they've got somebody pushing the payload. They're keeping pressure on from the side. They're just trying to divide the attention of T6. It's working okay so far. Here we go. Coming in now. Sound barrier for Lunatic-Hai. Graviton Surge comes in. Dean looking for a little bit more. Eska gets 2. And it looks like it'll be a pretty good push coming in here from Lunatic-Hai. Yeah, getting everybody but Myungun in that one.
Yeah, they kept one guy down on the bottom side to push the payload, waited for the drop. They did force T6 to drop, and then fighting them there. Nice setup, nice planning from Lunatic-Hai, and that's going to get them all the way through the second point eventually. Wow, are they fighting this?
Coming in, Eska.
That is so risky to fight this too. Okay.
Oh, against Myungun. Yeah, without that Genji, things are going to be pretty bad. There's a nano boost on Namiro now. Gamsu gets his own, but that Reinhardt is much, much lower. Does get the biotic grenade, and he does get the sound barrier as well. So T6 trying to fight back here.
Yeah, but if they lose this fight, Doa, this is going to be a long push. Lunatic-Hai's spawn is right there.
Looks like they will lose the fight. Yeah, they get the point.
Oh, that's not good for T6.
Whoa! Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Bounced up, but doesn't matter. Eska going to finish off Zunba from range.
Yep. And they've got such a forward position on here. Holy cow, Eska, you're not supposed to be able to do that, man. That is a little bit too good. We got to nerf McCree now, sorry.
Got to nerf Eska.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Well, that is a hell of a push opportunity. They still have a Dragon Blade, though, for defense alongside the Graviton Surge, so they've got some chances here. They're going to wreck Lunatic-Hai.
That's a good Dragon Blade, man, and just a good combo setup.
Yep.
Wombo combo will give CONBOX T6 a little bit of time to get that defense stabilized.
But again, we have to ask, what is the cost, though, as we look at the combo here from Myungun's perspective? And, well, it's not very exciting, actually.
Slices, it dices, it holds the payload for a little bit longer.
Because the price you pay is 4 ults now to 2.
Yeah.
And Lunatic-Hai, they've got basically everything they need. They'll have 6 ults soon. They might as well just wait for it, honestly.
I mean, Liz has the Death Blossom, so.
Yeah, but he's going to die instantly to the crowd control.
Let's see, he's got the nano boost now coming in. Doesn't want to die. There's the sound barrier. They know exactly what that Reaper wants to do as Eska walks up. Oh, gets a kill on the Hell before he gets knocked down. And there's the Death Blossom now. Doesn't get anything. Eska with another couple kills. Lunatic-Hai keeps the push going. They keep the payload moving. And man, that is about it. Oh, just all right. Yeah, just take out Paparotti. Why not? And that is it. Payload is there, and Lunatic-Hai, they'll take this match.
Wow, great win from Lunatic-Hai there.
Yeah.
But I think T6 ran out of gas at the end.
Seemed that way. And what we really saw, I mean, it was a rough first map for Lunatic-Hai. Lijiang Tower did not look good for these guys. Nimbani looked a bit rough as well with the double full hold. But then at the Nepal tiebreaker on Nimbani, that's where I feel like we saw Lunatic-Hai finally get things together there. They got into that groove, and they were able to look pretty good for the rest of that match.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, just insanely close. Having to go to sudden death twice, and then having a 2-1 Lijiang Tower, and then a 3-2 Gibraltar.
Yeah.
This was really on the razor's edge for either team, and an absolutely fantastic match of Overwatch.
Yeah, it really was. Man, if only they could all be like that.
Well, Doa, we'll have playoffs soon, where probably a lot more matches are going to be very close, but unfortunately, that probably is the end of the road for T6 for this season. They've grown a lot since it started, and unfortunate that most likely we're definitely we're not going to be seeing this team in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I don't think so. Still, though, T6 definitely a team to watch for here in Korea. Maybe we'll catch them in some of the other online leagues here, and maybe next season. Who knows?
It really is tragic that they've been eliminated because, of course, now with 2-0 to Lunatic-Hai and Envy ending it 2-1, it's the end. We know which two teams are going to the playoffs. Even if Lunatic-Hai loses to Mighty Storm, which I would consider very unlikely, they will still, depending on map score, exit in first place.
If they beat T6, in the shape we saw T6 in today, I don't think they're going to have much trouble with Mighty Storm.
Yeah.
That's the most likely scenario. So, that's going to do it for our first match. But when we come back, Luxury Watch Blue taking on Reunited. Reunited, of course, in a situation where they could go up 2-1 in the group. Really a must-win for them. And Luxury Watch Blue, of course, coming off of a bit of a surprise win in their last match, has a chance to continue. Maybe surprising us with a win over Reunited. Should be another close one, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 right after this.
Coming up next, Team LW Blue, reunited